Joined in the studio by Jules Woodman and Carl Walker. Good afternoon to you two.
Hi.
Hello. Now, you're from Appletree Theatre Company. Where are they based?
Well, we're based in Herefordshire, so we're just literally on the Herefordshire and Shropshire borders. And we're a very young but very exciting theatre company.
How young?
We're about 2 years old, actually, as a theatre company, so, yeah, still taking our baby steps.
What made you get started, then? What made you do what you're doing?
I think a bit of fate and luck, really. Myself and Jules had met up after many years' absence, and she said, do you want to start a theatre company? I went, yes, OK, and that's about as strategic as it got, I think.
Definitely, yes.
Your backgrounds, then, what's yours, Carl?
Well, I've done a lot of acting in the theatre, about 12 years or so. I also come from a very corporate business angle as well, so I bring the business angle to the company as well as the technical angle. And Jules?
Yeah, I've been a jobbing actor for 30-odd years now, so...
You're only 12, for goodness sake!
Stage, TV and film, but mainly treading the boards, yeah.
And now, this is the Browning version by Terence Rattigan. I know Terence Rattigan, I know Browning. Is it the Browning I'm thinking it might be?
I think it must be, yes.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's the poet Browning I'm thinking of, is it?
It is, yes. It's to do with Robert Browning, yes.
Well, roughly, what's the story about?
Oh, it's a story about, it's set in 1948 to start off with, in a public school. And it's the story of a master that has started at the school with a glittering career ahead of him and very soon became an object of ridicule by the boys that he taught. And his wife started having affairs with other masters and not hiding it either. So he's, this very downtrodden figure who receives a gift from one of the boys just as he's about to leave the school. And this changes his life, really, quite simply. It gives him hope, it gives him back some pride, and he takes control of a situation that's been out of his control for many years.
So although it's a period piece and setting public school, the storyline is still pretty EastEnders soap opera with lies, deceit and affairs, really, so it'll appeal to everyone.
Now, you're both actors and yet you're technical director, you're artistic director. Yeah. Do you act as well?
We do indeed, yes, and we are taking the two of the leads in the Browning version. Yes, I'm afraid when you run such a small company as ours, you get to be tea girl, actor, prop maker, boom holder, just about everything under the sun.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
This has been on tour since late September, finishes at late October. You've already done one stint in Herefordshire and Worcestershire, and that's at Droitwich Spa. But you've also done Ludlow Castle at Ludlow. That must be nice.
It was
must be a good venue, eh?
It was amazing because that was the one venue where we're not really performing in a theatre. They asked us to perform in a marquee. So it was almost outdoor performance, but with the roof on. And that was absolutely fabulous.
And we were thrilled to get that gig because we were the first theatre to go into the castle and perform for over a decade, other than the Shakespeare that's there every year.
You've been to the Norbury Theatre this last weekend, just gone. How did that go?
It was lovely. It's a beautiful theatre. I don't know whether you've ever visited. It's lovely period Art Deco. And we were really made very welcome there. And the audience,
the people that run that place are fabulous.
Yeah, so thank you to them. Big public thank you to them. And the audience seemed to really enjoy it.
You're on in various venues, but just one night stands, really. Yes. Does that make things tricky if you're not there for a little while to get things set up and sorted out?
Well, yes, it does. For instance, one of the theatres we went to was Theatre on the Steps in Bridgnorth, which I know isn't in Hereford and Worcester, but those of you that know it will know that it's literally on steps, almost vertical steps, and about halfway down or halfway up them, depending on which way you look at it. And doing
optimism or pessimism, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing the get-in and strike for that was challenging, to say the least. Having said that, being an old hoofer, I'm very aware that you need to keep props and set to a minimum, and Carl's brilliant at designing the set. And so we have got a very portable set, actually, so it's not too bad. It would be lovely to do a run somewhere, but maybe next year.
OK. Well, you're at the Concourse Theatre in Bromyard at 8 o'clock on Friday, the Courtyard Theatre in Hereford at 7:45 the following Friday, that's the 28th. How much would it cost us to see these productions?
I think it's around about £8.
That's not bad,
so
is
very
it?
reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable.
Darn good evening's entertainment.
Is it in 2 halves? Can we go and book our lunchtime, half-time drinks?
No, it's a one-act play,
Oh, right.
actually.
Yeah.
But all of the theatres that we're going to have made sure that the bar's open before and afterwards. So please come along and have a drink either side.
I'm not sure whether that's for us or the audience, to be honest. But
The play is called The Browning Version. Look, now we've introduced ourselves to each other and to Herefordshire and Worcestershire. You will keep us up to date with what you're doing, won't you?
we certainly will. We've got
Always
big
right.
plans for next year, haven't we, Jules?
Yes, and we'd love to come back. Thank you very much for
All right,
having
you're
us.
very
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you for coming in today. Conquest Theatre at Bromyard at 8 o'clock on the 21st. That's this Friday. 01885 488 575 is the box office. I've got it written down here if you haven't got it written down there. And the Hereford Courtyard Theatre on the following Friday, the 28th. And the 01432 340 555 is the booking office number there. But as I say, I've got it written down here if you haven't got it written down there. Thank you for joining us, you two.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
That's Carl and Jules from the Appletree Theatre Company.